Does eating at night really make you fat? Or is that a myth that scares people away from their favorite snacks? Today, we will test the bold claim, separate cause from coincidence, and give you a practical plan you can use tonight. Stay to the end for a useful bonus with late-night food swaps and templates. Disclaimer: this video is educational only and not medical advice. Please consult a licensed professional for personal guidance. Next, let us lay out the big idea in simple terms. A paper in the Journal of Clinical Nutrition explains that long-term weight change follows energy balance, calories in versus calories out. Position statements from the American Heart Association add that meal timing and circadian alignment can fine-tune appetite, blood sugar, and energy use. The American Diabetes Association notes that finishing meals earlier often helps glucose control. Translation: calories are the steering wheel. Timing is the power steering. Next, let us test whether late eating causes weight gain or merely travels with other habits. Analysis in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition report that eating closer to one's biological night is linked to higher body fat even after accounting for sleep and activity. Experimental work in the Cell Metabolism Journal points to melatonin-related misalignment as a driver rather than simple clock time. Researchers at Brigham and Women's Hospital observed that late eaters often consume more total calories and lower-quality foods across the day. Quick favor before we continue. If you enjoy myth-busting with real data, please subscribe so you do not miss future deep dives. Next, what happens when scientists keep calories identical and only shift the clock? Controlled feeding in the cell. Metabolism Journal found that delaying all meals by about 4 hours reduced 24-hour energy expenditure and raised hunger, despite identical menus. Tissue analyses in that same report indicated a tilt toward storing fat and reduced fat breakdown during late schedules. Trials summarized in JAMA Internal Medicine journal show small-scale changes when intake truly matches, suggesting timing nudges biology, but the nudge is modest unless it alters how much we eat. Next comes the body's morning advantage, called diet-induced thermogenesis. Experiments in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism show identical meals burn approximately 2.5 times more through digestion in the morning than at night. That journal also reports smaller glucose and insulin rises after breakfast versus dinner for the same foods. The American Heart Association interprets this as a practical reason to place more calories earlier for many people. In short, same sandwich, different burn. Next, let us explain why evenings challenge blood sugar control. Research in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism shows dinner produces higher post-meal glucose and insulin than breakfast when the foods are identical. Evidence in the Diabetes Care Journal indicates melatonin can dampen insulin release in the evening, especially in people with specific receptor variants. Clinical guidance from the American Diabetes Association warns that large late meals often raise overnight and next morning glucose. That is why dessert right before bed can echo into tomorrow. Next, what this means for prediabetes and type 2 diabetes. Findings in JAMA Internal Medicine Journal demonstrate that early time-restricted eating improved insulin sensitivity even without weight loss. Practice recommendations from the American Diabetes Association highlight consistent meal timing with smaller, earlier dinners to reduce glucose swings. Reports in the Diabetes Care Journal show that front-loading calories can lower fasting and after-meal glucose for many patients. If glucose is your pain point, timing is a high-impact knob you can turn. Next, let us zoom out to time-restricted eating for everyone. Trials in JAMA Internal Medicine Journal indicate that time-restricted eating often works by quietly trimming daily calories rather than by a special fasting effect alone. A network analysis in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism finds early eating windows tend to improve insulin resistance more than late windows when weight loss is similar. Work in the Public Health Nutrition Journal stresses that adherence decides success because a schedule you cannot keep will not help. Choose a window that curbs late snacking and fits your life. Next, the toughest scenario: night shift schedules. Position papers from the American College of Cardiology associate long-term night shift with higher obesity, diabetes, and heart risk. Laboratory simulations in the Science Advances journal show that eating during biological night induces glucose intolerance, while eating only in biological daytime preserves normal control under the same sleep schedule. Guidance from the Sleep Research Society underscores that circadian misalignment compounded by short sleep amplifies cravings and metabolic risk. Strategy matters most when biology is stacked against you. Next, a practical playbook for shift workers. The Science Advances journal supports placing main meals in daylight and keeping night shift intake light and protein-focused. The American Diabetes Association recommends a brief walk after meals and a smaller dinner to flatten glucose peaks. The Sleep Research Society advises caffeine in the first half of the shift, bright light early, and strong protection of daytime sleep. Small timing wins add up across a month. Next, why short sleep makes late cravings so loud. The PLOS Medicine Journal documents that short sleep lowers leptin, raises ghrelin, and heightens desire for sugary and fatty foods. A trial in JAMA Internal Medicine Journal showed that extending sleep by roughly 1 to 2 hours led adults to eat about 270 fewer calories per day in free living conditions. The American Journal of Clinical Nutrition notes that many of those extra calories usually land after 9 in the evening. Fix sleep, and the late-night snack monster shrinks. Next, let us choose late foods that do not backfire. Studies in the Journal of Nutrition find that a pre-sleep casein protein snack does not impair fat metabolism and can support muscle repair. Heart health guidance from the American Heart Association flags ultra-processed sweets, chips, and alcohol as common late-calorie traps. The International Olympic Committee recommends protein plus complex carbohydrate after evening training to aid recovery without derailing body composition. If this breakdown helps you, please subscribe so you never miss an evidence-based episode. Next, how culture and Ramadan fit into the timing story. Analyses in the European Journal of Clinical Nutrition show late dining cultures stay lean when diet quality is high and portions are balanced. Reviews in the Nutrients Journal report that Ramadan shifts eating to night, and weight change depends on total intake and food choices rather than clock time alone. The Public Health Nutrition Journal highlights that sleep timing and social patterns shape whether late eating helps or harms. Timing interacts with lifestyle. Next, let us tailor advice for special groups. Clinical trials in the Clinical Science Journal reveal that women with polycystic ovary syndrome improved insulin and reproductive hormones with a bigger breakfast and a smaller dinner. Guidance from the American Diabetes Association suggests people with type 2 diabetes or prediabetes often gain from earlier, consistent schedules. Sports consensus from the International Olympic Committee affirms that evening athletes should refuel after training, then protect sleep. Older adults may prefer earlier dinners to reduce reflux and improve rest. Next, what about night owls and personal clocks? Observations in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition indicate that eating near the melatonin rise, not mere clock time, tracks with higher body fat. Guidance from the Sleep Research Society suggests that true night owls who sleep enough and align meals with their personal schedule can do well. The American Heart Association recommends avoiding heavy food in the final hours before your real bedtime. Align with your own clock, protect sleep, and keep calories on track. Next, why studies sometimes disagree. The Cell Metabolism Journal reports that late eating reduced energy expenditure and raised hunger, while JAMA Internal Medicine Journal reports small weight differences when calories were tightly matched. Method notes in the Journal of Clinical Nutrition explain that free-living behavior can mask small timing effects because people compensate by moving less or snacking more. The lesson: timing is a lever that often works by changing appetite and choices. Next, the famous breakfast versus dinner debate. A weight loss trial in the Obesity Journal showed that a big breakfast plan improved weight and triglycerides in obese women. Another trial in the Obesity Journal found that concentrating carbohydrates at dinner helped male officers on strict low calories lose more and feel less hungry. The Clinical Science Journal and related work suggest that sex, hormones, diet composition, and adherence explain much of the difference. Context is king. Next, let us turn science into a practical game plan. The American Heart Association suggests planning your calories first and making breakfast or lunch the anchor when possible. The American Diabetes Association recommends finishing dinner 2 to 3 hours before bed and taking a 10 to 15-minute post-meal walk. The Journal of Nutrition supports protein and fiber if you must eat late, such as Greek yogurt with berries or cottage cheese with fruit. Close the kitchen after that snack to protect sleep. Next is your promised bonus. The Journal of Nutrition supports pre-sleep protein for recovery without harming fat loss, so try Greek yogurt with cinnamon instead of ice cream. The American Heart Association favors air-popped popcorn or crunchy carrots with hummus over chips. The International Olympic Committee suggests whey with banana or eggs with rice after late training, then lights down and screens off for better sleep. Template, protein, plus fiber, light on sugar, modest portion, then brush teeth to signal kitchen closed. Next, key takeaways and the final word. Combined evidence from the Cell Metabolism Journal and JAMA Internal Medicine Journal shows that the statement, "eating at night makes you fat," is an oversimplification. Excess calories, low diet quality, circadian misalignment, and short sleep are the real drivers. The Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism shows mornings handle the same meal better, so earlier eating can aid satiety and glucose. The American Diabetes Association and the Science Advances Journal point out that people with diabetes and shift workers benefit most from earlier timing and daylight meals. Final verdict: calories matter most, and timing helps your biology help you. This video is educational only and not medical advice. Please consult a licensed professional for personal care. Call to action. Comment with the next health myth you want us to test, and share this with a friend who eats late.